Hey, what's up you guys, it's Spartan, and today we'll be talking about the very best Cavalry unit in Mount Blade 2 Bannerlord. And so, after testing every single Tier 5 Cavalry unit, I've come to the conclusion that there's 5 that come out at the very top. And in order to rank that, I had to compare their skills, their armor, their equipment, their horse armor, and as well as comparing them on how they do in groups and how they do alone against an army of 1,427 Empire soldiers. Alright, so coming in at number 5 for the 5th best cavalry unit in the game would be the Sturgian Drusenic Champion. He has an armor rating of 185, placing him at 4th for armor. He has a skills rating of one-handed 220, polearm of 260, and riding of 200. And his equipment is the Sturgian Lance, which is a short, fast lance, a fuller, narrow war sword, which is a short, fast sword. And he also has a horse, which is the Sturgian Hunter, and horse armor rating of only 55, meaning that all of his armor is really low and all of his weapons are really short. So he just absolutely gets destroyed by spear walls, and he's really good for kind of like getting behind enemies and basically stopping and using a sword. But he's not good for charges, and he's not good for enemy horses. He's really just good for melee. Alright, so coming in at 4th best cavalry unit in the game would be the Vlandian Banner Knight. So he has an armor rating of 197, placing him at 2nd. And he has skills of 220 one-handed, 200 riding, and 260 polearm. And equipment of the Vlandia Lance, ridged arming sword, and a large kite shield. Meaning that he has, yet again, a short but a little longer lance that's faster, and he has a long, this is a good part, he has a long ridged arming sword with 113 length. That's really, really good for horseback. And his shield has 82 speed and 430 health. And he also has a horse, which is the Vlandian Courser, which is really, really nice with 12 charge damage, 52 speed, and 68 maneuverability, as well as 240 health. So this horse is basically designed to run over like your enemy and do like cavalry charges basically on weaker enemies and to kill them. And so his horse has an armor rating of 64, which is also really, really nice and good and survivable. But you know, the thing is, he's in 4th place, but that doesn't mean he's bad. He's the 4th best cavalry unit in the game. He's really good for survival, but he just doesn't get a lot of damage. And against the spears in this game and the infantry in this game, horses by themselves, or even like paired up with other people, just don't do a lot of damage very quickly, and they don't do very good. But overall, this is a very, very good, well-rounded unit for survivability. Alright, so coming in at number 3 for the 3rd best cavalry unit in the game would be the Kuzite Heavy Horse Archer. And so he has an armor rating of 130 and a skills rating of 130 all, which both place in last place out of these guys. And for his equipment, what basically makes him so good, is the Steppe Recurve bow at 89 speed, 62 piercing, 94% accuracy with 48 arrows, all at 2 piercing plus. And he has a fine steel saber also that has 108 length. So the reason why this unit is so good is because basically bows in this game are just overpowered. And when you combine an archer with 48 arrows on horseback and basically make it so they surround the enemy, they get so many kills and they do so much better than all the other horses in the game, all the other cavalry units. And also his horse is the Steppe Warhorse, which doesn't have a lot of charge damage and is actually kind of slower than the other ones. but has 250 health and also only has 38 armor. So this isn't a unit basically that's going to do good in melee, obviously. This is a unit that's good for harassing and getting tons and tons of kills. Doesn't matter what the unit is, he will surround shields and shoot their backs and just do so well. So like, for example, in this test, he got 986 kills solo, and in the grouping he got 115, which is a little bit of a problem. So if there's kind of like a cluster of soldiers, he doesn't do as well. But on his own, he almost wiped out all 1,400 of the Empire soldiers, which is just insane. They are so good of units, and they're very underrated by a lot of people. Alright, so coming in at number 2 would be the Imperial Elite Cataphract. And I know you guys are probably surprised it's not first, but I'll explain that later. So his armor rating is first at 214. His skills is actually lower than everyone else's, at least for the like elite units, at 200 one-handed, 200 riding, and 260 polearms. And his equipment would be the two-handed Imperial Lance at 86 speed, 40 piercing, and 225 length, which is very, very, very nice for a polearm. It's the best polearm in the game. And for his secondary, it's the Fine Steel Paramerion at 84 speed, 72 cutting, and 116 length. Again, so good of a sword. Like, his equipment is really, really nice for melee. And his shield would be the Knight's Kite Shield at 82 speed and 550 health, so it'll never break. And his horse is the Imperial Charger with a charging damage of 12, speed of 44, so slowest, and a maneuverability of 66, and the highest health of 290. So his horse also has Imperial Scale Barding, which is 75 armor, which is the very highest in the game at the moment. So his horse will never die, and he will never die, basically. Like, they are godly level for their armor, basically. They are the highest armored unit in the game. So their survivability is also the highest. Alright, so coming in at first place would be the Kite Consguard. He has an armor rating of 186, placing him at third, and he has skills of 220 in polearms, 260 in bow, and 200 in riding. And what makes this unit number 1 and the very best unit in the game is because of his equipment. He has a Steppe recurve bow, a glaive, and a heavy mace. And the reason he is so good is because his glaive does 145 cut damage, which instant kills anything he passes by. And also his bow is good for harassing any unit from a distance. So he just gets insane amounts of kills. Like, for example, in this fight, he killed every single one of the Empire soldiers, so 1,427, and he had 174 horses still remaining. So he had half his army still remaining, which no other unit could even kill all those units. Alright, to even farther explain to you guys of why he's number 1 and why I chose him, just think of it this way. His lance basically takes out any kind of archer unit or horses. So it just dominates horses themselves. It can dominate knights, dominate archers, crossbowmen, whatever. And if they have tons of spears and two-handed weapons, you can switch them into ranged mode and basically just harass them and take them down one by one with your basically horse archers. So basically they counter every single unit in the game, and alone they can beat literally any kind of army composition, and they're so overpowered because of that reason. So, like, for example, if you put 500 Imperial Elite Cataphracts against 500 of the Kite Consguard, the Kite Consguard would absolutely just mow down the Cataphracts. And the reason for that is just the sheer amount of raw damage output they have is just insane compared to any other unit. They one-shot literally almost everything in the game if they're going full speed. So even like the Imperial Elite Cataphracts with their like heavy armor and everything like that get wiped one by one very, very quickly by the glaives. So that is the reason basically why I put these guys as number 1. And let me know what you guys think about my decision, and if you think the Imperial Elite Cataphracts are like better maybe in a different situation, or if they're better than the Kuzite Consguard. Or let me know what you guys think about this, because it is definitely a close first place between those two. If you guys enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe for more. And I hope you guys found this helpful at all. Let me know what you guys think, and let me know what you guys want to see next.